Hey guys, it's Asha and today is Easter Sunday, so if you celebrate Easter then I hope that you're having a wonderful Easter. I hope that the Easter Bunny brought you lots and lots of chocolates like he brought for me. And if you don't celebrate Easter then I hope that you're having a wonderful Sunday anyway. Because it is Easter today, I woke up and I was like, yay, it's Easter. And then I remembered something that happened 2 years ago on this day and it was not pleasant at all. I wanted to talk to you guys about it just because there is definitely a lesson that I learned from it and a moral behind the story. If you would like to see more story type videos in the future, maybe ones that aren't as dramatic as this one, like more funny stories and stuff, then I can definitely do those because I'm the clumsiest person in the world and I have so many embarrassing stories. Like today's video I'm going to be talking about the car accident that I had 2 years ago on Easter Sunday with a cyclist. Yep, car accident with a cyclist. It was interesting. So basically that morning I woke up super early and I was with my boyfriend of the time and we were driving back to the Sunshine Coast to go and visit my family for Easter, and we were at my house and then I realized that I had left my computer charger at his house. So I was like, okay, I've quickly got to rush over to your house, grab my computer charger and leave. And that's kind of irrelevant to the story, but I just wanted to include it for some reason because you know when things happen and then you think, like, imagine if that one thing before hadn't happened, then the whole thing wouldn't have happened. And I always think about that. I'm like, if I hadn't forgotten my computer charger that morning, then this entire story would never have happened. So I went to get my computer charger from his house and we pulled up at an intersection. It was a stop sign and I stopped and I looked right and I looked left, and on my left there was like bus stations and a ferry station, and then on my right there was a slight hill, nothing too big, and there was a corner store on the corner, and then there was like all these cars parked down the street. I stopped at the stop sign and I looked left and I looked right, and it was a little bit hard to see because the cars that were parked up on the hill, I don't know, they were kind of blocking my view, and then the store was blocking my view, so I couldn't really see much, but I'd stopped and I'd looked, so I figured that I was good to go. And I pulled out and then all of a sudden my ex screams, "Whoa," and I'm like, whoa, what is going on? I slammed my brakes on and I look to my right and there is a cyclist flying down in the middle of the road, and he's going so fast, like he was going crazy fast. It was like a split second. He had barged into the side of my car, so the right side of my car. So his knee went into the front of my car and then his bike went like flying over my windscreen, and then he rolled over my windscreen and landed on the road. No, it's like a nightmare, right? So little 17-year-old me was very, very freaked out. I started bawling my eyes out. I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. And my ex-boyfriend, who is really not my favorite person at all, hence why he's my ex-boyfriend for a certain reason, but that is another story that I will talk about in the future when I am ready to. But I will say that he did handle the situation very well. He said to me, he's like, "Asha, go drive, pull up there," and he jumped out of the car and he went over to the guy and like started helping him or whatever. And so I went and pulled my car over and I was kind of in like the middle of the road, and I jumped out and I was crying, and all the people in the neighborhood had started coming out of their houses and somebody called the ambulance. Anyway, this guy was sitting on the middle of the road. He was screaming, he was swearing, and I went over to him and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he wouldn't talk to me. He didn't want to know about me at all. So anyway, he kind of just sat in the middle of the road while my ex was talking to him because he didn't want to talk to me. So my SD card filled up and now I can't remember what I was saying, but I think I was talking about, yeah, when he was like on the road. So he was on the road for about 10 minutes just screaming and swearing and everything before the ambulance showed up, and then the ambulance showed up, and when the ambulance showed up, so did the police and a fire truck. They took him away in a stretcher in the ambulance, and then like I just had to talk to the police and stuff, and he had to talk to the police. And yeah, I don't know, the fire truck was just kind of there. So yeah, it ended up being okay, and I left and everything, and he was fine. I heard later on that day that he hadn't broken anything, he just had a few bruises and scratches. But the reason I wanted to talk about this video is because it could have been so much worse. Also, just so you guys know, after the police looked into all the details and everything that had happened, they decided to file it as mutual fault, so it was nobody's fault, or like both of our fault. The area that it happened in is a renowned area in Brisbane for being a really big blind spot. So I did stop and everything like that, and when I pulled out, because he was speeding down the hill and because he was wearing black lycra, so he wasn't that visible, yeah, it just ended up being mutual fault. That was a pretty horrible thing to happen, but the reason that I wanted to mention it, like I was saying 1 second ago, is because it could have been so much worse. Like it honestly makes me like shake and feel horrible thinking about it. But like if I hadn't have stopped my car, or if he had been 1 second closer down the hill, or had landed on the car in a different way, he could have broken bones, he could have like potentially like passed away. And that is such a horrible thing to think about. And even though it was such a horrible thing to happen, and I still have a dent in the front of my car from it, because I have a really shitty old car and it was just too expensive to fix it, it was a good learning experience, and it kind of just made me be a lot more careful and observant when I drive. And I think that's the #1 kind of thing to take out of this story, is that you can take your eye off the road for 1 split second, or you can not look in the wrong direction for 1 split second, or not concentrate, and something like this can happen. So please be careful when you're driving, especially since it is Easter Sunday today. So yeah, like there are a lot of crashes that happen in the holiday season and stuff like that, because there's so many people on the roads, and it happened to me and it could happen to you. So please just be so careful when you drive, because I wouldn't want any of my lovely subscribers to be hit, or to hit someone, or to experience something similar to what happened to me, because it was honestly the worst thing ever. Yeah, that was a bit of a depressing story, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, not enjoyed it, but I hope that you got something out of it. If you would like to see more light-hearted stories in the future, then I can definitely do some funny stories, some stories that have happened to me. Let me know, and give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more story type videos in the future. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!